Hey, what's up? I love your random videos. You never apologize for having a ridiculous and random video. It's all good. Okay, so I have like 1,000,005 things to talk about, and I have no idea how much time it's going to take. So, from your last video, yes, I broke my rib. I think it was somewhere in the beginning of September, and then I like lived with this pain in my side for most of September, and then I did something really funky in silks at the end of September, and I ended up like incapacitated on my back, staring at the ceiling, can't move. It was really bad. And then I went to the hospital the next day, and they're like, "Hey, you broke your 10th rib." And then I pretty much had to sit out of life for like a month until it healed. But now I'm healed, good to go. My resolutions, I'm doing good on them. I'm writing in this. I got a cool journal. Actually, I got two because I could just choose one. The other one that I write in is in my bedroom, and it has my favorite saying on it: the "shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land among the stars." That's like my go-to saying. And then I got this one too to use when I fill it up, and it says, "Always do what you are afraid to do." My New Year's resolution was to get better on my eating. I had, last year, Jamie's diet took a tumble. I lost weight, but it wasn't exactly in the healthy way. So, this year, I've been wanting to really focus on putting together, like, healthy meals. Look at it on the plate. Because, I know what health is. I know what fitness is. I know what's healthy and what's not. But I kind of like cheated all last year. And so this year, I'm like, if I want to keep up with all of my fitness stuff, I'm going to have to fuel my body. Otherwise, it's just going to shut down and be like, no. And we don't want that. So I've been doing a lot better eating. Like today for lunch, I had tilapia and rice and green beans, which is what I had yesterday. It was a repeat meal. But it was good. It was healthy. It looked good on the plate. So, we can do that together. Girl, I'm always ready. I'm always, like, loving to talk about health and fitness. I've been doing it a long time. I've been on the health and fitness bandwagon now. This is my 9th year. That is a long ass time. And trust me, I've done it all. The good stuff, the bad stuff, and everything in between. So yes, you need... Because no one wants to talk about healthy meals and stuff, so feel free to talk to me about that because I'm interested in things like that. I like that. And then writing, we're both going to write a lot this year. I don't know, I've never really written like fiction type stuff. I'm doing my writing in my journal like every night. I actually have a shit ton of time on my hands now. Since I technically, well, no, not technically, it's just quite simply, I don't have a job. So I've been going on this from fired to fit. That's what I'm calling it. So I'm like, okay, I don't have a job. Well, then I am going to, like, throw myself into taking care of me, taking care of my health and my body and my mind and stuff like that. So I started CrossFit. In addition to my runs at the gym and aerial silks, and now I'm doing CrossFit, and I took a yoga class today because it was free. They have free yoga on the plaza every Sunday, so I try to get there. Sometimes Anna 9 comes with me, but this time she didn't, and oh my god, of all the times, I'm like, I wanted Anna to be there so bad, and I was there, and it was the most ridiculous story. Like, and I had to like call my mom I'm like, I gotta tell you this story, what happened in yoga today. So I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna try and recap it. I mean, it could go on for like an hour, so I'm gonna try and keep it short. So this class takes place in the Lululemon store, which they sell like yoga wear, like really nice, expensive yoga gear for guys and girls. And they clear out like all of the stuff in the middle of the floor, and then we have a yoga class on Sundays. And it's pretty packed. There's always like, there's a lot of people there. You know, we have to really line up close, and there's always like the people that come in late. I hate those people. I'm like, you know what? If we're like already started, then you're just SOL, okay? I don't want to have to move my shit in the middle of me trying to breathe so that you can fit your late ass mat down. So there was this girl, and she came in late, and she was dressed in regular clothes, and she walked in and went to the back to change and came out in Lululemon gear. And I'm like, okay, I didn't think anything about it. And she asked this girl next to me, you know, where are the mats? I'm like, okay, so she didn't come with clothes. She didn't come with a mat. I'm like, obviously, this is like maybe her first time here. I'm like, okay, it's not too weird yet. And so she gets a mat, and, you know, everyone kind of has to move over so that they can fit her late self in there. And this lady, the instructor lady, is kind of talking while she's doing this. She's talking about this trip that she took to India and, you know, all this stuff that they learned about yoga in India. It was really kind of interesting. And the girl, this late girl, interrupted the woman and was like, when are we going to start? And I'm like, dude, you just interrupted the lady who was talking about India. So I'm like, okay, that was the first thing where I'm like, I don't know, there's just something off about this girl. And she was in like Lululemon shorts and a top and a jacket. All Lululemon workout gear. And as the class started, it's like, okay, then we started, you know, getting into our poses and whatever. The girl, I mean, she wasn't doing what we were doing. She was like, you know, taking off her jacket and talking to the person next to her who didn't want to talk to her. I'm like, God, this girl is just weird. And we just kept going. The girl, the entire hour, all she did was get up from her mat and walk around the store through the entire class. She would walk like to the back and then walk back to her mat. And I mean, there's no room to walk. Like, we are just mat to mat in the store. And she's just kind of like, you know, snaking her way through the store and through all of us while we're doing our yoga. And walking around to the back of the store and then back to her mat. And then she'd get, and then, you know, put her jacket back on. And I don't think she ever did anything, because then she'd get up and she was like shopping in the store. I was watching her, and she would like, she had a bag and a headband and maybe a pair of pants or shirt or something, and she'd put them up at the register and then go back to her mat. And then get up and go walk somewhere else. And I mean, she did that the entire hour. And then I kind of got to thinking, I'm like, you know, I think she took clothes from the Lululemon to wear during this yoga class that she did not participate in at all. It was so funny. And, you know, a few times, and I was in a position where I couldn't see the front door, but a few times those sensor alarms go off. You know, like in stores, if you try to steal something, they have those big, like, sensors that go off. The sensors went off a couple times. And I think it was because she was wearing the clothes with the sensors and walking around, like, at the front of the store and going through those things. And I'm like, there is something wrong. Like, there was something wrong with this girl. And I'm like, God, I just hope she doesn't, you know, kill us all or something. And I could just see it now, like in the paper. I'm like, oh my God, you know, everyone's going to be shot to death in the Lululemon trying to practice yoga, and here's this crazy girl. And she would like walk right, you know, between me and this other girl several times. At one time, she made it to the back of the store, and we were like out in a in like a child's pose. So you're kind of like out like this with your head on your mat, and your butt's kind of, sticking out. It's a very comfortable pose. And she was walking like back behind us, and she's like, "You all have really nice butts." And I'm like, oh my god. Seriously. And it was so funny because she was literally the elephant walking around the room, shopping, taking clothes on and off. She was literally the elephant in the room, and no one said a word. Like, the instructor didn't say a word. Like, no one was. I'm like, God, I'm like, maybe it's me. Like, maybe I'm the crazy person and I just see this person. Like, maybe no one else sees her. So, I'm like, and then I'm like, well, maybe we're being punked. Maybe there's cameras, like there's a YouTube. Maybe this is gonna be on YouTube. Maybe this girl like lost a bet or got dared or something. Like, it was so bizarre. I've never seen anything like it. And at one point, kind of toward the end, she went back to the dressing room and came out, and she was back in her clothes that she came in, like the jeans and a button-up shirt and boots, and she was like walking through all of us on our yoga mats, and goes and sits down on her yoga mat. I'm like, I seriously thought we were being punked. Like, I'm being punked in yoga right now. I know it. And so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to take this as a game. I'm just going to make it a game, right? Because this lady, the instructor talked about, like, finding our peace and finding that moment. And there's, like, there's so much hustle and bustle in life. And, can you just find your, like, mental peace, clarity? And I'm like, maybe this woman brought this other lady in to represent, like, the chaos in our lives and how we're supposed to, like, focus. Like, be able to pick a point and focus and, like, tune out. That's what I did. I'm like, you know what? As long as she doesn't touch me and my stuff, because I was ready to go apeshit on her. I'm like, listen, don't fucking touch with my stuff. I'm in free yoga. Like, don't mess with me, man. I'm just going to pretend that she is representative of the chaos in the world and how I need to tune it out and, like, focus on me and my breathing and my yoga. So that's what I did. So at the end of class, I'm looking for this girl. It's like, okay, we're done. And the lady's like, I have, pumpkin bread that I made for everyone. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta get pumpkin bread. And I'm like looking around for this girl. I couldn't find her. I don't know if she left. Her yoga mat was still there. She didn't put it away. So I'm like, God, maybe she's in the back. I was like looking for this girl. I'm like, where is this girl? She's crazy. I couldn't find her. So I was listening to these other kids talk. One of them works there. And they're like, this girl was just shopping while we were doing yoga. I'm like, okay, so it wasn't just me that saw this girl. I'm like, maybe this is a figment of my imagination. I've gone crazy. I don't know, but apparently it wasn't just me. Everyone else saw her. Everyone else was equally as creeped out. I asked the girl next to me, I'm like, have you ever seen her here before? And she's like, no. I'm like, did you hear her say that we all had nice butts? And she's like, yeah, that's when it got a little creepy. I'm like, okay. So the guy that worked there, he's like, yeah, well, this is not going to happen next time. So it must have been like the first time this has ever happened. Had a crazy girl in yoga class. And I'm like, God, where's Anna 9? Like, I'm going to have to tell her this story about yoga, and she's not going to believe it. So that's my crazy story for today. It was the most bizarre thing. I'm like, there's something wrong with her. And I was really concerned at how she got there, because if she drove, she's not getting home. That girl is nuts. If she was supposed to take medication, she didn't take it this morning. She was crazy. I'm like, you are crazy. And I don't say that to very many people because I'm a little weird, I'm a little awkward. I'm okay with people being a little awkward, but there's something wrong with her. So that's my story for today. Oh, and there's like a little stink bug type thing that crawled out of my fireplace today. The Pukinator was on it. I saw her over there like meowing and looking at something. I'm like, what are you looking at? I'm like, oh, it's a bug. The one good thing about winter is that there hasn't been any bugs, so I'm okay with that. I don't really like bugs. So I just put like this little, like, I don't even know what to call it, a little stainless steel cuppy thing. I just sat it on top of the bug, and I don't know what I'm going to do, but it's been there for like an hour or so. I'm just hoping that the bug will randomly die. I think I'm going to have to do something about it. I don't want to. So there's the bug. And, oh my gosh, you're going to cut down on Tumblr and television? That is like 80% of my life, so no. I actually watch TV and tumble all at the same time, which I guess that's good. That's like multitasking, you know? But yeah, I spend a lot of time on Tumblr. And I watch a lot of TV. Right now, I've just finished Parks and Rec, so now I'm moving on to 30 Rock. I love Parks and Recreation. Leslie Knope is like personal hero. I love her. I think she's amazing. You know, nothing, she tries so hard, and she, like, it means, like, the Parks and Rec, it's like she really takes it to heart. She really takes her job seriously, and she tries so hard to do such a good job, and things just never really work out the way that she envisions them. But she just keeps on going, and it's absolutely hysterical. And I'm like, you go, Leslie Knope. You go. Books. For nonfiction that I think is cool, any of those books written about the body farm, like Dr. Bass is the forensic anthropologist there, and he wrote a book about the body farm. That's really cool. My mom was up this past week, and we cleaned out all my closets. I got rid of a shit ton of clothes, which is always nice. And I like rediscovered all these clothes that had been hidden. I'm like, oh my god, I have all these clothes now. The hell? So I actually got all the clothes that I wear like put into one closet, and then coats in another closet that I can actually get to them. Ooh, I get my hair done this week. And I'm gonna show you my inspirational photo. Actually, it's a collection of photos. You'll be the first to know. I haven't showed it to anyone, but I'm so excited. You see it? See? Bam! Jamie's going dark. So yeah, that's what's up in my world. Oh yes, and since I have all this time, I would like to make a journey to this podunk town in Arkansas in which you reside, and like hang out with you for a weekend. Sometimes I'm high maintenance, but sometimes I'm not. A lot of times I'm high maintenance. So after like 2 nights, it'll probably be like, Jamie, get your shit and get out. Which is fine. That's cool. But yeah, since I have not actually seen you face to face in a while, I would like to make that happen. And I got all the free time in the world, so why not now? Before I start some other escapade. I did my nails yesterday. They look really cool. Ooh. They'll look really cool. I did some over here, but God, they just came out looking crappy. Because I don't have the patience. That one turned out okay. Yeah, I did this blue, and which it looks kind of cool if you don't look at it really close. So I will see you later.